house of cheering fans, including Earl B., the home team's biggest fan.
Earl B, he's our man. Earl B, the home team's biggest fan.
Great day, great game. Thanks to all you fans for coming out, especially Earl B. See you next game, everybody.
Welcome to George Daniels Stadium, where the Southview Saints and the Admiral King Admirals are about to take on in a soccer match. We had a 30-minute rain delay here due to thunder and lightning, and had a beautiful rainbow at the end of it. So it was somewhat of a delay getting ready to get started, but now we're ready to play soccer. The referees are ready, the kids are ready, the parents are ready. So let's play ball. There we go. Saints put the ball into play for the Southview. Starting lineup was number 0, Vincent Velasquez, goalkeeper. Jared Schulich is number 1. Number 2 is Eddie Gutenbiller. Number 3, Tyler Johnston. Number 5 is Josh Jones is the sub. Jeff Whitman, a starter. David McCartney is number 7 and a starter. Actually tonight, Dave, I think, is coming in off the bench. Julio Cortez, Edgar De Leon, Brett Meyer, Scott Morris, Andy Arredondo. So Southview trying to mount some attack here. We'll get the Admiral starting light up here in just a minute. The ball's cleared by number 11 for number 18, Rocky Ferraro. As soon as my partner here, Gene Burgess, gets his headgear on, we'll get him in here. He's Southview Athletic Director. What do you call him? Athletic Director, equipment, faculty manager, splitting the duties with Sharon Griffith, I believe it is it not, Gene?
Correct.
So he gets to collect the money, he gets to count the people, he gets to pay the referees, he gets to do all this stuff. And if Ebersol would give him a couple of bucks, he'd probably buy us a pizza.
Hey, buy us a pizza, he should deliver the pizza.
There we go. Ball runs long, out of bounds. Admiral King throw in. Number 14, James Ashton. As we get into a little more serious side here, I was talking to Coach Demakia early tonight, and he was telling me about Ashton and how well he's been playing of late. He's really, really pleased with his progress as a soccer player. There's Basconi's pass, David's pass down.
That was Southview's Edgar De Leon on the stop and started transition the other way. The young man there with the ball is, we had his arm broke on an accident at home and really gutting it up and playing hard with that cast on his arm.
At Scott Morris, is it not?
Correct, that's Scotty Morrison.
Last week his name was Whitman. This week, this week is.
Hey, I can tell you as a coach with experience, and I'm sure you know yourself.
Yep.
Numbers change often and quickly.
Yep. Well, I understand that Southview does have a home and away jersey as well.
Correct.
And the numbers are different by a lot of times by one notch. But I was talking to Scott's dad earlier today, and he says, Whitman is not. I forget what number it was, but I told him we'd try to get it right tonight. So, and it was wrong, so I corrected it.
You can only go with what the coaches tell you.
That's right.
And
blame it on the coaches or the referees, right?
As I get older, my eyes get worse, and it's a long ways down there. I can tell you that by when I ran up the stairs.
That's right. Was that running?
Well, believe it or not, that was running.
Okay.
At least it felt like it when I got here.
Good. Okay. This ought to be a good ball game tonight, folks. Both these teams played Lorraine Catholic last week. Southview took on Lorraine Catholic on a Thursday night game that we did for you. Tried to play them head up, and they just got hammered 10-0. Following Monday night, Admiral King lost 4-0. But in talking to Coach Demakia, they played a defensive ball game. The only way to try to tie Lorraine Catholic was to just play defense, and for 62 minutes, it was a whale of a ball game.
That's a nice ball from Scotty Morrison up to Tyler Johnston.
It's Ramos. Ramos had a career against Lorraine Catholic. Unfortunately, there was a corner kick that deflected off his hands and was kicked in by Lorraine Catholic. But boy, was he outstanding. He played an outstanding game at the goal.
I tell you what, from what I've been reading and watching him over the years, he's really developed into a fine goalie here at Admiral Keene.
Yeah, I remember just a couple years ago when he first came. He's a senior now, and when he started out, you know, he was pretty decent. But boy, he's really blossomed.
That's Southview's Brett Meyer with a header.
Patrick Taggart trying to settle it down. Ball goes out of bounds. Southview. David Basconi with the ball.
That's now Southview's Tyler Johnson looking a nice ball over to Scotty Morrison.
Ramos comes up with the ball. Andy Matos centering the ball, got an offside call. Lewis Crook was offside on the play. Our referees this evening on the far side with his hand up in the air for indirect kick is Ron Glauner. And on this side over here, the guy with the blondish gray hair is Joe Blackham. Both of them are seasoned referees, been around a long time, and good friends. So it's nice to do a game with referees I know.
That's Josh Jones trying to tack the ball down.
Jim Ashton playing defense here, trying to come up. Scott Morrison sending it down. There's
Southview's Edgar De Leon with clearing the zone with the ball. Andy Arredondo trying to stop the counter.
Dan Lucas, number 8 for the Admirals, playing that sweeper position.
I tell you again, Neil, the soccer in Lorraine, 2 Lorraine schools.
Nice stop by
strong.
Ramos. Go ahead, Gene.
Both teams are playing outstanding soccer. I mean, they're actually playing soccer the way the field's spread out. They're keeping triangles set up and so forth. It's come a long ways, and I think we can contribute that to a lot of the youth programs going on in Lorraine now.
Yep. I live over by Longfellow Park, and every late Saturday afternoon and on Sundays, there's all those little kids out there and playing games. And during the week, when I'm out for a jog or something around there, they're all out there practicing and playing, having a good time. Okay, throw in for the Admirals.
And just into the game for Southview was David McCartney, who's also one of the captains of the team, and he's coming back from an illness, missed a week or so, and he was a big loss to Southview's attack when he went out.
Oops, sorry there, Gene, but
No
shot take precedence there.
Definitely. And like I said, hey, Neil's a professional, and I'm just learning.
Oh no. Andy Matos took that shot. This is a lot of fun, Gene. I'm really looking forward to working with you here today. It's standing up here listening to myself talk isn't any fun. When you get having Jimmy Fossey in here earlier and having known Jimmy when he was a little tyke and played soccer, and his brother Josh, a couple of great kids.
And you know, it's nice. It makes me feel real nice that a Lorraine soccer player is now back coaching soccer in Lorraine.
Yep, absolutely.
And it goes to show you how the programs are working with both schools, and along with the assistant coach from Admiral Keene, played soccer at Southview at Admiral Keene, and now coaching at Admiral Keene.
Absolutely. David Basconi trying to get to the ball to get it out. Nice kick, nice black kick. That was nice. That was a nice move there, David.
Tyler Johnson staying with it. A shot by Tyler Johnston.
Goes wide. Goes out over the goal line. And we'll have a kick by Ramos. Yeah, we had that just before we getting ready to do the announcements. We had that crack of lightning here about a half hour or so ago, followed by a drizzle and a little bit of rain and beautiful rainbow. And Lucas. Rocky Ferraro. Rocky was a guest commentator in the first game here. He was having a ball. He sat there. He took 10 minutes to talk us into letting him do it, and then he and then he did a nice job. So we appreciate your help, Rock.
It's always nice to see the players and young people come up and try to be involved, and you know, it's good to show that there is a lot of good things out there going on with sports in Lorain City.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Brian Gaynor took the kick to Lucas.
Should be a Admiral King throw in.
Nick Damachia is coach. Nick and Tony are twins, brothers of Nick is with the boys program and Tony has the girls team at Admiral King. Ball runs long and Ramos picks it up. They both played for Dave Thomas, as did Jared Perez. Jared Perez was Admiral King graduate. In fact, he played on the teams back in the early 90s that had a couple of long win streaks there, undefeated seasons with Pat Ziroli over at Admiral King.
Oh, boy, that brings back the days. Pat Ziroli era.
Yeah.
You get delivery.
It's not DiGiorno either. This is fresh from the Burger King down the street. All right.
Oh,
thank you, Mr. Vincent.
It must be them receipts, buy one, get one free. From Burger, hey, with the support we get from Burger King nowadays, every little bit helps in sports in Lorain.
Hey, they're great. They are great with our programs.
You guys really rate.
Yeah. I'll split mine with you. I got a double, so you can have the top and I'll take the bottom of it.
No, thanks.
Speaking of support, you know, we should have probably got a CC's Pizza here, but then again, First Federal might got upset because we didn't call them, let them buy it, and then there's always Impressions down there on Tower Boulevard, and they would probably say, wait, hey guys, you know, the Palace will buy you one. So those are our sponsors, by the way.
Well,
so that's how we get them in. We just get them in around food. I'm telling you.
That's all. Hey, every little bit helps here. It's a Julio Edgar De Leon playing it back to Vincent Velasquez. Vince cleared his ball to Andy Arundano trying to control it.
Brian Stevens on the challenge there. Does get it off over to Lewis Crook.
Southview's Jared Schulich. Back to Andy Arundano. Clears his zone.
Lucas to Basconi. Basconi's going to send it. Nice ball.
Nice ball.
Got a little, just a touch long. Got by Matos. There's another nice little drop over the top. Good defensive play by that young man on the Admirals, Edgar De Leon. Sends the ball out. Be a throw in for Admiral King. He misses, and you got a one-on-one with the keeper. Derek Smith to do the throw in.
Oh, nice kick by Vincent Velasquez, Southview goalie.
Over the top, he got a call on Admiral King's Jim Ashton. We have a free kick going to be taken here by Scott Morris. Actually, Scott's going to turn me into a fibber. He's going to lay the ball down, and he's going to let Andy Arundano come over and take it. I understand Andy is a relative of Laura Arundano on the girls' team.
Oh, yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I mentioned that in the first game, and excellent player. She'll tell you what, everything keeps going like it is for her. She has a good future in soccer.
Yeah. She's tall freshman, really knows how to do some good ball skills. Ball control. Scotty Morrison with the ball. Brian Gaynor tried to get in there. Oh, there's a nice play by Matos, who takes a shot. He goes off the post. Another shot, this time by Patrick Taggett. So the Admirals put a little pressure on there, Gene.
I think a little bit of indecision on the goalie, and I tell you what, it was a good opportunity, and I tell you, the goalie's going to have to get after it a little bit, but I tell you, he won't have his head down, and Admiral King took excellent advantage of that mistake right there.
Ball's back in play.
And for as big as the field is in soccer, the game is also a lot of times determined by inches.
Scott Morrison over to Andy Arredondo, who sends it long, looking for McCartney in the center. Played back out. Derek Smith cleared it for Smith trying to come up with it again. This time it goes over to Jim Ashton. Matos sends it a little too long. You got to push on the Admirals, number 18, Rocky Ferraro. Rocky, next if you set up here again, I'll teach you how to do that without getting caught. We shouldn't say that, should we? You know, I always thought you played by the rules. And when my son went to college the first year, when he came home, he showed me all the things they do in college. I couldn't believe it. He showed me how they hold without a referee like me seeing them.
Nice ball by Scotty Morrison.
Nice move.
Nice move. He's going to pull the
Take a
trigger here,
shot.
and he hits the crossbar again for Southview.
Far
Josh
post.
Jones, over top.
Good action. Scotty Morris pulled the trigger, hit the far post to the right, bounced out, and then we had another shot taken by Josh Jones that went up through the uprights. So we'll have a goal kick.
It's amazing how close it is, but yet so far away.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the first game, on how that ball just, you could be 4 or 5 feet away and boom, straight up near it goes.
I tell you what's nice to see the parents out here and the fans for soccer and for these two teams.
And we have a call for pushing there. Go ahead.
And you see a lot of kids talking about their parents and their parental support and their premier coaches and stuff to get them where they are today.
Yep, lots of them in their bios when you read it. My dad was, my dad, my grandfather. We had a game earlier last week with Vic Janowitz's relative from Admiral King. From Lorraine Catholic. So that was kind of neat. That's really going back. Scotty Morrison trying to get to the outside with it. Rocky Ferraro coming. David Basconi kicks it back to Brian Gaynor. Got a handling of the ball.
Julio Cortez for Southview, going to pull a trigger.
Ramos comes up with the ball. Nice header down there. Good move. Basconi does a chest to try and get it out.
I tell you, from the beginning of the game, it's been played at both ends of the field.
You know, the way McCartney moves reminds me of Fosse.
Oh,
when he
very much so.
Small in stature, but boy, could they move with the ball and step over it, and had very good, powerful shots.
And as we were talking, David McCartney talks about how his father was my coach and the most of his life, and he made the player he is today. And I tell you, it's something when you can talk about your parents and the parental support that these guys are getting.
That's super. Ball runs long, be throw in for Southview. Jared Schulich, one of the captains.
Jared's big in the ROTC program at Southview.
I think those programs are great.
He's a leader, a squad leader, and he does a lot of things at Southview. A lot of the activities and community service that they do, and he's a leader of that at Southview in the ROTC program. And then on top of that, he plays football, and so he has a full load with class soccer, football, and ROTC.
Oh, that's for sure.
But they're dedicated group of young people.
Mr. Obuchi.
Yes, Sam Obuchi and Rick Brown.
Yeah, Major Brown, that's right. Major Brown's recuperating. I see he had some surgery there.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a nice long ball by Scotty Morris.
Nice header by David McCartney over to Tyler Johnson.
Basconi clears it out. Morris comes up with it. He's all over the place.
Man.
Boy, I like the way he plays.
And running with a cast on his arm, it shows you the grit, determination.
Well, he ought to put one on the other arm, get some balance there,
Even him out.
That'd be cool. He could have one red and he could have one navy blue.
Oh, nice
A
cross.
fashion statement, you know?
Yep. Nice cross by Scotty Morrison to Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson with the ball.
Drops it in.
Oh,
There's a
nice shot.
Okay. Tyler Johnson takes a shot.
He's another one that talks about his parents and the support they give him, and his big inspiration. He wishes to play soccer in college and continue on as a professional.
Well, that one runs by there a little bit. Ooh. Get it clear out. Gainer in the middle.
There he goes, Scotty Morrison again on the attack.
Jimmy Ashton trying to clear the ball out. Watch out, and McCartney Ashton had a nice block on that ball. Mean Joe Green comes up with it. Ball goes out of bounds. Joe Green's gonna do a throw in. We have substitutions for Admiral King. Number 13 and number 3. So David Basconi and Brian Gaynor go out of the ball game. Into the ball game is Nick Rivas, and I think Brandon Carrion. Yeah, free kick, Admiral King. I don't recognize Rocky without having his hat on now. There we have a whistle. Fall on number 10 for Southview is Edgar De Leon. Number 24 is Lewis Crook. Took his feet out from him on the side there.
And if you don't quite understand the reason the foul, he actually tackled him from behind, which is they want to make sure the play stays safe and prevents injuries. And it's nice to have referees and know the difference of things and how to call it.
Not intentional. That's
very
exactly
much
right.
so.
He was off to the side.
Yep.
It wasn't intentional.
Yep.
Trying to hurt anybody.
Exactly it.
Runs it long. Morse coming up with it. He's got it. You know, he's so light on his feet that he just about dances on the ball. Gets it out. McCartney comes up with it. McCartney sends it up to Jones on the outside. Runs a little long, and we got a throw in for Admiral King.
Well, we got a quick second here. I'd like to comment on how Kenny Clark and his crew have this stadium looking. I mean, it's something to be proud of now here in Lorain.
That's for sure.
I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, the crew, the stadium crew, and headed by Kenny Clark.
Well, there's a lot of activity because the feeling here with our athletic director, Ray Ebersol, is he wants as many events played on his field as he can get, be it soccer, football, junior varsity. That's what it's here for. Let's use it. Then it has all the other time of the year to get green again.
Yep. I tell you, though, he does a nice job keeping it green all season, though, with the use that it gets. And you know,
sends it down deep.
You never hear a complaint from him.
Whoops. Ooh, got a foul here. We're going to have a penalty kick. We got a stoppage in play. There was a critical mistake. Critical mistake. What happened on that one, De Leon decided he thought the keeper was coming out, and he didn't come out for the ball. And when the Admirals, Matos, went to get it, he took him down in the box in that area, that 18-yard area, and now we have a penalty kick. Everybody has to be outside the arc, outside the box. Referee will blow the whistle. Keeper must stay on the line. He can move, but he cannot move off that line and come forward. He can go side to side. Taking the kick is Andy Matos for Admiral King. Matos runs wide and misses the shot. Tried to sneak it in the left corner and missed it on the PK.
I tell you, Neil, people don't realize it. A lot of people think it's easy to stand there in that line and put that ball in that net. And I tell you, it's not easy. Get out there and try it once under the pressure. You know, the goalie's there and you're there and everybody's watching. That's a lot of pressure on that young man shooting that ball right there.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
A lot of people assume it's very easy. It's not.
Nick Rivas came up to Send that back down. Now it's cleared. Now it's out to Lucas.
Tyler Johnson to Scotty Morrison.
Carry on the outside. He runs in with number 3, Tyler Johnston. Johnston's coming across, looking to get that off. Let's see if he's got a left foot. Yes, he does. Nice cross. Well done. No hesitation, Gene. Just put that left foot on it and away he went.
Tyler, it goes back to Tyler's coaching from his family and playing premier soccer in the off season.
Yep.
And both these teams now pretty much play soccer year round. It's just not playing a fall sport. And you can tell by the type of play we have now.
Matos stepping over with the ball. Nice lead pass, looking out. Oh, offside. Patrick Taggart was just a little bit ahead of that defender out there, and they caught him in an offside trap.
These young men here now, they go from playing outdoors to 2 or 3 sessions indoors in the winter, and then back at spring and then summer. So summer, they really never get any time off.
Yeah, it takes all 3 of them to do it. It takes their parents, it takes them, and it takes their wallet.
Very much so. People don't realize they might only have on a few pieces of equipment, but it's expensive.
Oh, yeah. Nice play by Arredondo. He does a nice job at that midfield. Derek Smith tried to get it out to the outside. It ran a little long, went out of bounds. A substitution coming into the ball game is Adam Sitak for Southview. Leaving the ball game is number 11 is Brett Meyer. And taking the throw in is Jeff Whitman. The real Jeff Whitman is taking the throw in. All right. You go get him, Jeff. Scotty Morris. He's a hustler. I like him. I'll take a player like that. Even if he doesn't have a lot of skill, I'll take a player like that. He just gets in the way of everything. But he's got some skill, too. I mean, Don't get me wrong. He's got skill to go with it. If I'm not mistaken, his dad's been involved in the city program as a coach.
Oh, very much so. Scotty Morrison's dad. Then you have Tyler Johnston's and Alan McCartney, Dave McCartney's dad. And these kids, I mean, Scotty's only a 10th grader, Tyler's a 10th grader, and then David McCartney's a senior as a leader. I tell you, it's a nice group of kids out there.
Yep.
Coaching's easy when it's like that.
Ramos clears it out, trying to get up to Matos. Arredondo gets the ball. Matos challenged him. Matos nice move by Matos to gain control of the ball. He's got Arredondo in his pocket. He's looking for a cross. He beats one more man, and he's out there. He's a tractor trailer coming through here. Get out the way, he says. Nice move. You know what? They were shoulder to shoulder, and they just kept going. There was no pushing and shoving. That was nice. Everything was legal. Nice move. Cleared by number 14, Jimmy Ashton.
Southview's Jared Schulich with a nice header up front to Adam Seatak.
Seatak battling in with Patrick Taggart. Ball goes out of bounds, and Carry-On will do the throw in. Brandon Carry-On. Goes off Cortez, is it?
Yes.
Number 9. We have 12 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half in a 0-0 score from George Daniels Stadium.
Yeah, score 0-0, but the excitement's been there.
Oh, yeah. You know, Gene, that's where it gets me. A lot of people, they don't get involved in soccer simply because they say, oh, there's not enough scoring or this or that. But if you watch, I would rather watch a good, skilled game and watching kids do the techniques and the things that they're taught and do them well. I don't care about the score.
And true soccer is a low-scoring game.
That's right.
You know, leave it to the other sports for the big scores, the basketballs and footballs and stuff like that. Them are great sports also, but soccer is a low-scoring game, and a lot of fans are just now starting to realize that the game is not about scoring.
That's right. Morris has it blocked by Joe Green. The ball goes out of bounds off of King. It'll be a throw in for Southview. Number 6, Jeff Whitman. Arredondo. Okay, they're gonna call handling of the ball on Admiral King's number 19, Derek Smith. Smith went up and it moved his arm into the ball. Gene, you got some bios on your guys over there
yes.
at all, or why don't you grab a couple of those and we'll sneak a few in. I've got one here on a few of the Admirals too, and we'll get them in before the first half. Scotty Morris up with trying to drop it in. McCartney went up and was trying to do a bicycle, and the ball ended up going over the top of the goal and the back of the net.
And as we're mentioning David McCartney, David's future goals is he wants to go to college and play soccer. His big interest is in graphics design. I know a lot of athletes are in graphics design in his hobbies. And with a lot of soccer players, I think because their foot skills, he loves skateboarding. I mean, skateboarding is it when he's off the soccer ball, and I think it also helps with his foot skills being on a skateboard.
Yeah, you know, when you look at him, I can see a skateboard under his feet, real easy. Good kid. Substitution for Southview coming into the ball game, number 11 and number 2. Number 2 is Eddie Gutenbiller, and number 11 is Brett Meyer. Out of the ball game comes number 8, Adam Sitak. And I didn't see the other guy, but in fact, I think he's right here, number 5, Josh Jones. Throw in, Southview. Arredondo with the ball. To Morris, back to Arredondo. They do a nice job of give and go. Well, coach at Southview is Bill Bogan. Bill was your assistant for a number of years when you were handling the program there at Southview.
Bill was my assistant for 3 years, and I tell you, as a coach for as long as I did it, I felt comfortable giving up the job to Coach Bogan. He did well with me, and I knew he was ready to take it over. And when I was able to get Jimmy Fossey back to help coach, and the skills player that he is, I tell you, it was two people that really they continued the program building as it was, and it's a little bit hard on the kids on a change right now with a new coach and new assistant, but as the season's going along, they seem to be getting a lot better, more acclimated to the coaches and his style, which was similar but different.
Ferraro takes the kick and it runs high and goes a little wide left. Gene, what do you when you get these young kids that are fresh out of college, like a Jimmy Fossey and some of these kids, how do you see the relationship between the athlete that's, especially your junior, senior? A lot of parents always have concern that, you got this young coach. Is he a coach or is he just another player? The discipline and who's in control type of situation. How do you view that?
Well, I think in most sports, and with soccer especially, once Jimmy took over for us, and he ran a youth program, a middle school program last spring and continued over to summer. And I think once the other players started to realize, the older ones especially.
There's a shot. Oh, it's in the back of the net. Whoa, what a shot. Johnston. Was that Johnson, number 3?
Very much.
What a shot. 7:57 left in the first half, and Southview draws first blood. That was a bullet.
And as the soccer players go, I think they call it the upper 90.
That's right.
That's the goal of every young soccer player, is to put it in a goal in the upper 90.
There was no way Ramos was going to get there, no matter how much skill he had. They had him drawn over to the short side of the field, and he went wide right, upper 90. Beautiful shot. 7 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first half, and Southview goes up 1-0 on the Admirals.
Real quick on finishing up with Jimmy Fossey. I think once the players saw that Jimmy Fossey had the skills and the techniques of a soccer player, that's what gained a lot of their respect. And from his brother playing with me for 4 years and him just graduating, they were very comfortable with Jimmy taking over. And the parents seem to be feeling real comfortable with him.
And another breakaway. Dave McCartney has the ball, and Johnson out to the side. He's going to pass it over. Gets looking for Scotty Morris, but it goes long to number 5, Josh Jones. Goes out of bounds. Right now, most of the action's been down here at the Admirals end there, as Southview's been putting pressure on him. Finally put one in there. That's a nice play by Morris. He charged. Of course, that time that time he got a little bit of motion there. Men in gold let it ride, but he reminded me of the old Bellucci samurai sword there, the samurai arm. Boom. Okay, we got a goal kick. You know, having been involved in the sport for 20-some years with my kids and as a referee and a coach, and the ones that always amaze me are a guy built like a Scotty Morris, aggressive. He don't care who's coming at him. If you get in my face, I'll be right there for you. You know, give me your best shot, I'll take it. You know, tough kid.
Usually the defenders are the bigger players, and he's probably 90 pounds wet. And to be out there with the cast down his arm and still going at it.
McCartney runs it long to Jones. Jones going to try and cross it. He does, but Ramos comes up with the ball.
Southview's Brett Meyer with the ball. Now Brett's another one. He in an indoor season a couple years ago broke his arm, and for him to come back to play like he's playing is an aspiration too.
Nice shot there by McCartney. Went a little wide, got off Ramos's hands, but he was able to pick it up again before the Saints could get a ricochet shot in there. They've been sending it along. Right now, the big thing I see is that Southview is beating the Admirals to the ball. All these long balls, it seems to be a white shirt that gets in position and goes up for the ball. Patrick Taggart comes up with that one, sending it long, trying to get it to Gaynor.
Edgar De Leon with control of the ball for Southview, trying to start a little bit of transition play.
Brian Gaynor comes up with the ball. You know, I was talking to Brian's dad earlier, and we always laugh when Brian was playing youth soccer and I was a referee. And I told this story before. I picked him up by his feet and lifted him upside down to check his cleats before the game. And I told his dad, I'll never let him forget it. And his dad says, yeah, well, he's taller than you are now. He's a senior. So I told him, well, if I lift him up now, his head will hit the ground. So, you know, but he's been a good sport, and he lets me have fun with that.
He's another one that when he first started was a very small player, and tell you, he would not back down. He would be in that big defender's face with the ball, and he would take it, and he would put it right back at him. He was another one, Scotty Morrison style, and that's impressive. And I think a lot of people don't realize that what it takes for these young kids to get out here and play against a player.
Well, he had an advantage, though. His two sisters were excellent soccer players, so they taught him when he was just a little twerp, you know, playing in the backyard. So they do grow up.
And it's nice that the whole family continues to play.
Yep. We won't talk about how well Ed plays, but we will say that he plays.
Ed does a nice job up there announcing.
Oh, I'm in the adult league.
Do they really call that the hospital league?
Yeah, I think so. It's I think they call it the over 30 or over 40. And now it's got to be closer to the over 50, I think. But ball's running along. Jones trying to get to it. He saves it. Ball goes off, picked up by Jimmy Ashton. Then it hits
Josh Jones in a handball. I think I'm going to buy stock in an oxygen company to deliver, since soccer's so big and that adult league's taken off.
Well, I'll tell you, Gene, when I retired from refereeing, I played it smart. I don't go near a soccer field other than to announce a game and watch it. I'm not ready to participate. I like being able to keep my knees at least lubricated enough to keep jogging, you know. But I'm not ready for that.
I try to get out with the stuff that I do.
Saved by Ramos. McCartney tried to get a foot in there and just missed. Ramos sends it along. We're down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the first half.
And I pretty much try to watch as much as I can, and it's just nice to go out and still watch the kids play.
Yep.
I miss it. I'm not going to tell you I don't miss it.
You got a couple of youth, talk about youth players. You got a couple of them right outside the windows here.
See quite a few jerseys from Lorraine Youth Soccer here today.
Scotty Morris up with the ball. Picks it over to
Julio Cortez.
Cortez bounces on, tries to set it down to McCartney. He's sending it back to Jones, or to either that or to Morris, whoever gets there first. This has been controlled pretty much by Southview here after about 10 minutes into the game. They've settled down and pretty much maintained ball control. Minute 35 left in the half.
As we mentioned, Scotty Morrison quite a bit control the ball. Scotty's hobbies and interest, soccer, and soccer. So apparently, and his big goal is he wishes to play soccer in college, and with that your only interest, I tell you, that's determination.
Brian Gamer, 13 for Admiral King, tries to clear it, picked up by Morris. McCartney has the ball. He's trying to send it into Johnston. Saints got some from attackers up there that do an excellent job. Matos tries to kick it off to himself, gets deflected by Edgar De Leon. Now David Basconi trying to send it down. You know, I have to give Southview credit, as we did that Lorraine Catholic game. They got their lunch handed to them 10-0, but they kept their composure. They kept trying. You know, they knew they weren't going to win the game, but they wanted to get a score.
Yeah.
So that was the goal. You know, let's see if we can get a score on these guys. You know, you had a situation where, you know, you gave up 10 goals. You're really getting drilled. And, you know, they just kept their heads up and kept going.
And I tell you, that's awful hard on a goalie. And Vincent Velasquez, last year we converted him.
Okay, we're at the half now. At the halftime, it's Southview 1, Admiral King 0, and Gene and I will be back in just a few minutes with the second half of action.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorraine.
CC's Pizza, all you can eat for only $3.99.
CC's Buffet has 16 kinds of great tasting pizza, pasta, salad, and desserts, all you can eat for only $3.99. And CC's was voted #1 for overall customer satisfaction.
The best buffet that you can find, lunch and dinner anytime. Let's go to CC's Pizza. Great taste at a great price.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorraine have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorraine is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorraine, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorraine is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
Future soccer players, there they are. Lorraine City Soccer. We have number 42 waving there, Akil Blanton. Number 2 is Ian Meslak, and Dan Bickle, number 1. That's from left to right. They're waving and smiling, and they play youth soccer here in Lorraine. And by the way, they play for First Federal, one of our sponsors. Go ahead, Gene.
Right before half, I wanted to talk a little bit on the overlap of sports. Southview goalie Vincent Velasquez, I got him a couple years ago. He played basketball for me, and I desperately needed a goalie. And
in basketball?
And and desperately need a goalie in soccer.
Oh, okay.
And
Basconi with the ball.
and he's turned into a fine goalie and just learning the game. And it goes the basketball coach talked about how much playing soccer, even though he's a goalie and uses his hand, how it's helped his foot skills and strengthened his legs.
For sure. Yeah, those young men we saw at the opening there are going to be out here on this field someday.
And again, it goes to the youth program in Lorraine, how the soccer's starting to come to Lorraine, and then how the schools are performing.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a time, and it was probably, well, I hate to age myself, but it was about 20-some years ago when we used to have the Lorraine International Soccer Tournament. I mean, we had hundreds of teams here in people, and it was just a wonderful weekend event, and we had so much fun. People from all over the place. I mean, you know, international as well as the locals. And we had a little bit of pushing and shoving, but not enough to get the referees excited. So.
And again, there he was, Scotty Morrison on the attack.
Yep. Gainer tries to clear it out.
That's Julio Cortez putting the ball forward to David McCartney.
King sends it a little long, but they're going to have to get it to their teammates down there, because the Southview defense is just playing back, waiting for him. Nice move. Jeff Whitman tried to churn, came up short, but did a nice job of trying to come around with the ball.
That's a nice pass. Good thought by Julio Cortez trying to hit Brett Meyer going up the sideline.
You know, he trapped the ball nice, too. He brought it down. He didn't try and kick it when it was up high. That's a difficult job to do with a ball coming down. Put it down. The key you want to do is you want to bring it down to your foot. Basconi goes off Basconi's foot.
Tyler Johnson over to Scotty Morrison. David McCartney, nice header over to Josh Jones. Nice run on a ball by Tyler Johnston.
That's all right. Fans got a little excited, but they're about a block and a half away from the ball, so that's okay. That's what's fun about it. Taggart.
I tell you, the way Scotty Morrison's play, I'd leave the cast on him the rest of the season.
Nice move by, I'm telling you, Johnson did a nice move there. Little Dave Basconi was defending him. He took him to the center, came back to the outside, and used his left foot. I think that's where, you know, the youth kids really should spend some time. You know, when your coach tells you to learn to kick the ball with both your left and right foot, boy, spend some time. Because I watch some games, and I'll tell you, some of these kids, they got a lot of speed and they've got a lot of moves, but they only have their right foot, and especially with someone playing on the left side, they go down into a corner, they do the little churn. I mean, once you figure that out, you can defend them without any problem. Learn to use both left and right foot.
The term, I think we use it with the kids so they kind of understand it. They try to run around the ball. And when they run around it, the defense realizes they do it every time, so defense is waiting on the other side.
Scotty Morrison with the ball, trying to send it down to McCartney. He got a nice pass. McCartney settles it down, kicks it back. He's going to take a shot, runs high. Nice move. Right there's the skill. You know, the ball comes, he settles it down. Morris goes up, gets a header on over the back of Gainer. Basconi and Jones going at it there. Look out to Johnson. Okay, nice save. Ashton sent it back out. Ball goes out of bounds. Goal kick.
A lot of young soccers don't realize, even though it's only a few seconds, now they should be taking a rest period to recuperate for that next attack.
That's for sure. It's a game of sprints. Gainer to the outside, gets it up to Rocky Ferraro. Rocky backed to Joe Green. Now they're trying to get something mounted here. Back to Rocky had someone hanging onto his arm there. So come on, take that, get your shot off there. There you go. Shots taken by Lewis Crook. Gaynor did a nice job of getting in front of Scotty there. Did a slide tackle in front of him, kicked the ball out of bounds. Let his defense get reset.
It's Josh Jones with the throw.
Bad throw in. Took the weights out of his shoes and his foot went up in the air. Got to have both feet on the ground. Ball come from the back like that over your head. If you lift your foot, it's a bad throw. And we got a pull there. Cortez and Crook got tangled up, so it's going to be a free kick.
I think this is one of the most dangerous parts in soccer is the free kicks. Even though with the distance it is and the spacing and stuff, a lot of goals are scored on free kicks.
Absolutely. Ferraro's going to take the kick. Southview sets up a two-man wall. Meanwhile, everybody else, they're looking, I think what they're looking for is for them to chip the ball over. Sends it a little long. Goes out over the goal line, and it will be a goal kick. Let me hit a couple of these Admirals bios here while we're getting a little stoppage or slowage in action here. Yeah, Luis Ramos, the goalie for Admiral King. His favorite teacher is Mrs. Llewellyn. Mrs. Llewellyn's in the sciences too, I do believe, over at Admiral King. Influence in sport, it was his father, Luis Ramos. Interesting here, favorite professional sport, Roberto Clemente. Definitely a first-class type individual in the baseball. Lewis would like to go on to college. He loves to play sports. He has a 3.2 grade point average, and he was an all-county in year 2002 in soccer. Shot coming across. Johnson tried to hit it in, didn't go. Now we got Scotty Morris. Morris going to take the shot, runs a little wide to the right, so we'll have a goal kick. Andrew Matos, agri-science with Mr. Tressel was his favorite. He says it's fun and educational, and definitely enjoys it. He liked to go on to college, and he loves to. He liked to produce music, and maybe start a band. He likes the guitar, soccer. And I love this, having a good time while there's still time.
That's a new one on me, but
well, I think maybe it means because he's a senior, huh?
It could be.
That's probably it.
I would imagine
I
that's
would
what he
think
means.
so. And Andrew has a 3.5 grade point average. The first team all-county sophomore year, second team all-county his junior year. But I think we need to talk to him after the game, because down here where it says family history and organized sports, he's crossed it out and put crime. So Mom and Dad, I think maybe you better talk to Andy about that, and we'll clear it up when Southview and King meet again in October. How's that, Gene?
Looks Scotty Morrison on the attack, puts the ball forward to like Tyler Johnson, moved over to the right side of the field.
Yeah, we got McCartney moved over to the left.
Yep, trying to change up that, maybe confuse the Admiral King defense a little bit if they were keen on Tyler Johnston.
Brian Gaynor sends the ball, trying to get it up, get it out to Joe Green. Ball's kicked out of bounds by Southview. Would be a throw in. Gaynor to take the throw in. Oh, that ball got off his foot and got away. McCartney and Basconi battling for the ball. And McCartney put his arms up pleading for a call, and the referee gave it to him there on that 20-yard line. David shakes his head, says, hey, wait a minute, who's in charge of the whistle here? Huh?
I don't know, sometimes, it's just like a politician. Sometimes you have to levy for it.
That's right. I guess he did a better job. Yep.
He got that vote over there on the other side.
Yeah, the man in goal. He took it. Good job for both of them. McCartney, or Scotty Morrison's shot runs long. Derek Smith, another Admiral soccer player, auto mechanics is what his favorite in. He'd like to get the best job possible without going to college, you know, and that's fine. You know, there's a lot of good trade schools around. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great idea. He likes guitar. He likes cars, you know. He's one of the first in his family to play an organized sport. Hey, I'll tell you what, there's many times I wish I knew a little bit more about a car when it's broke.
A lot of people don't realize, hey, you have to have a car. There has to be people to fix them. That's a good goal. I mean, you know, everybody's talking about computer technology and this and that. Hey, you have to look where the money's at and where it's going to be in the future. And we're always going to have a car.
That's right. You know, above everything, you got to do what you enjoy doing. You know, your life skill trade, you're going to go from the time you're out of high school working toward that until you're in your 60s. Heck, for these kids, it may even be in the 70s, you know.
Correct.
And if you're not doing something you like, it's no fun. So good luck to you. There's a shot by Arredondo, runs a little long, picked up by Ramos. Jason Amato, his favorite teacher is Mrs. Stempel in French. Says that she makes learning fun. We had some more politician going on here for the ball, and looks like we have an injured player. Looks like Joe Green. Joe rolling around there. Looks like he's shook up his knee a little bit. He gets up, he'll have to come off the field, but he's, once again, at these sporting events that we have at just about all schools, no matter where you're at anymore, you do have a trainer on the facilities, and it's really good. They can assess the situation, make sure that maybe a serious injury doesn't become overly serious, and stabilize it and take control. It's really nice that we have them.
I don't think they never get the credit's due, because they're out there putting the time in, just like the players and coaches, and they never get the credit that's due. And I tell you, this young lady we have at Southview this year, she's doing a fine job for us.
Now who's she with? Who's she associated with?
She's with Hell South.
Hell South. Okay, they're still doing. There's a nice shot there. Runs high.
And along with David Dury here at Admiral King, I tell you, it keeps our athletes going.
Oh, yeah.
And they're there at our beckoning call to come and show our kids about stretching, the correct way to stretch, and prevent injuries as well as treating injuries.
That's good. That's excellent. Back to Jason Amato here. His future goals: he'd like to go into engineering. His interest and hobbies are long walks along the beach, candlelight dinners. Oh man, this guy's only a sophomore, man. He's got it made. Watching Sports Center, playing soccer, and playing flip up. I'm sorry, what's flip up? Do you know what flip up is?
That's a new one on me.
Well, that's good, Jason.
It's going to be Andy Arredondo with the free kick.
We have 27 minutes and a couple of ticks on the clock in the second half, with the score 1-0 in favor of the Saints.
It'll be a Southview throw in. Looks like Josh Jones will be taking the throw. Nice hill pass by Tyler Johnston. Settled by Andy Arredondo.
And he's trying to chip it over to McCartney. Just trying to look at that little chip. That comes back out to Andy. And he's got good size on him. I bet Tony Shoulders would like to have him. There's a nice, that was an excellent play. What he did there, folks, is he came across the mouth of the goal to the left, took his shot to the back side of the goal, knowing that he was bringing Ramos across, and he just missed.
And that is hard when you start with your back to it and then trying to go for that far corner. You comment on Andy Arredondo's size. He's another one that plays basketball as a second sport. And I tell you, for a young man to go from soccer to a long basketball season and to have the stamina they have, it's unbelievable. And Andy is going to be probably one of the top, within the top 10 ranked in his class, and to put that much time in. And his sister is going to be she's a very good volleyball player at Southview.
Is that right? Does she play basketball?
No, she's strictly volleyball, one sport person. But Tony Shoulders mentioned he'd like to see Andy out, but I said, soccer's his thing.
That's a nice 50-50 ball he took away there. Excellent play by Julio Cortez. Over to Johnston. Johnston to Jones. Morris going to take a left footer. 3 points, it's a goal. No, wrong sport, I'm sorry. Right up through the uprights, a little high, but definitely the right idea.
Well, we should at least get a...
Southview could have used it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch that one.
Our producer here is saying things that you can't hear.
And
Gene being with Southview and something about a 3 points and a 2 points. I don't know. It must have been that game the other night, huh?
I'm not touching that one.
Yep. We'll let that to the football guys. Arredondo sends it back down to McCartney's got the ball. He chips it out to Jones. And he's going to cross it, and Ramos picks it up.
Josh Jones plans on going to college. He's right now he's in the junior police department with Lorain City's police department and the Explorers, and puts a lot of time in with that. And his aspirations, he wants to go to college and be criminalistics and work towards a degree in law enforcement.
Is he related to Matos and that criminal stuff? I don't know.
Maybe we should have,
I'm kidding. Just seem to tie together so nice, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
Vasconi clears the ball. Oh, nice play by Gaynor. Committed a slide tackle and got the ball up to Rocky Fiaro, who's trying to send it along to Matos. Matos is going to be coming out, but he's going to... Whoa, nice play there by the goalkeeper. Velasquez. Another couple of feet, and that would have really been a challenge.
I tell you, when a goalie comes out like that, and when the ground's a little bit slippery like tonight, anything can happen.
I think Rocky's getting a little upset over there. The last 2 or 3 times down, he's had somebody hanging on to his jersey, and I saw Coach Damaki say, "Hey guys in gold, could you do something about this?" They're gonna okay. There's Matos in a break.
Jeff Whitman ran through the ball.
Yep. Rocky's looking for someone to pass to. They got to get someone back down there to help him. He got mugged.
He did. And
speaking of crime, he got mugged.
And I agree with you, Neil. Rocky needs to have some help.
Yeah.
He's looking to drop the ball. There's nobody there to drop it.
Yeah.
And actually, Southview bailed him out on the play.
Yeah. That's for sure. Andy Matos come over here, dribbled all the way over this corner looking for the drop, and you've got to get someone to come back down to help him. They moved Vasconi back down onto the defensive side of the ball. He normally plays forward. Well, let's see what we get here. This is good potential for a cross. What they're going to do is try and dump it in and do a header. They'll have their bigger guys come in. Nice ball. He goes up. He got a little head on it. Rocky got some head, but he just didn't get it the right way. And Velasquez comes up through the traffic and picks up the ball. Nice play. Gets it out to Scott Morris. Gaynor comes across. Nice play by Gaynor. Not a thing wrong with that, folks.
Excellent play by
Gaynor.
Gaynor.
Got all ball. Scotty may have tripped a little bit, but he didn't get anything.
Tell you, it looks like a
it.
few of the Admiral King players are starting to pick up the pace.
That's for sure.
Starting to be a little bit more intense.
They've got to, they've just got to be a little more aggressive because they're getting it. They're not getting that 50-50 ball.
Yep.
Johnson sending it down, trying to get to McCartney. McCartney was long, so he was off sides. Jason Ashton, another individual that for Admiral King, a junior, the one Coach Damaki was talking about how pleased he is with his progress. His favorite class is Algebra 2H, Mr. Klein. His influence in sports has been pretty much with friends, and I do believe he had a brother that played with my sons at Admiral King at one time, soccer. His future goal is to be successful in whatever I do, he says. That's a great attitude. He's definitely got an open mind. He likes computers and music. He's got a 4.043 grade point average, a varsity letter in tennis as a sophomore. Sophomore year, he played tennis and soccer at LAK since he was a freshman, and academic letter freshman year. So That's James Ashton. So keep up the good work.
Julio Cortez with the ball for Southview, up to David McCartney. Little toe pass to
That
Johnson.
left foot. That snuck through Ramos's legs, but luckily it got trapped.
That was by inches.
That's right. Ramos looked like he was laying an egg there on that ball there for a minute.
But I tell you what, you give him credit because he never panicked when it slid through. He didn't panic.
I'll tell you what, if he'd lifted up, it had gone through.
Yep.
He kept himself down low. He had good position.
I tell you, I've really been impressed with him the way he's been playing, last year and this year, being a fairly new at the goal.
That's for sure. He does a nice job. Brett Meyer with the ball, looking for the cross. They do a nice job of moving, getting it in. McCartney's got good footwork. Didn't quite get all the ball, but they play it. What I like about it, Gene, is they play the ball wide, then they cross it to the center. You're going to get some type of activity. Someone might be tired in the middle, not pick up their guy, and the next thing you know, or a ricochet, and you've got the ball.
Well, I tell you what helped. I think it really helped a lot with Southview's foot skills this year. Coach Bogan and Coach Fossey had a couple gentlemen from the Sportsplex come out and give a week-long camp, and it was a team camp. And team, from the time they started, they filmed them, and from the time it started to the time the foot skills was unbelievable. And the kids, you see them out there now, they don't stop playing soccer when soccer's over at the end of the day. They're out there in the evenings, they're out there in the weekends playing as a team and having fun. And I think this year it's really showing a lot for Southview.
Arredondo with the kick. Gainer comes over, does a hanger out. Mr. Gainer got up there in the air. Way to go, Brian.
Real quick, a little bio on a Southview player, a young man named by Dwayne Price. He's a senior. He has a 4-point GPA. And this October, he will receive the Congressional Service Award. And he wants to go to college and he wants to do something dealing with mathematics. And his hobbies are hanging out with his friends and playing tennis also. And it goes to show you that the time that these young men put into their schoolwork, and it's just not sports or the so-called jock players. There's a lot of athletes that are in it for education as well as athletics.
Joe Green trying to run down on it. Didn't quite get it. Nice defensive work by the Admirals on Edgar De Leon.
That was an excellent play. He was blinded by the shot, was Southview goalie Vince Velasquez to snag that ball down, because that was definitely a serious scoring threat from Admiral King.
Look out, Johnson gets the turn. Basconi playing. I'm doing a nice job. I'm staying. Nice move, David. Nice move. Stayed with him with shoulder to shoulder. That's what you do. You have got to stay with him and not let him turn get that foot and crank it. There's a shot. Nice save by Ramos. That baby was ready to drop.
Again, that was a shot to the upper 90, the hardest thing for a goalie to do. Hey, and from Ramos to almost lose it last shot to keep his composure and to block that one there. I tell you what,
wasn't it?
that was a Cortez shot.
That was a nice shot. Ramos got up there and got the ball up over top. We have a goal kick for Southview. That was a nice job. Nice job. Tyler Johnston take the far side goal kick. We have 17 minutes and a couple of ticks on the clock, and it's still a 1-0 ball game. So a lot of action at George Daniel Field. Gene and I are just having a good time here. Off of Ramos's hands, and he was blocked, so it's going to be a goal kick.
I tell you, when Ray Ebersol called me this afternoon about doing a television, I naturally he asked, so I jumped on it, and then I get this little lollipop here taped to an envelope.
I wonder where that came from.
But I tell you what, Neil makes it easy. Neil makes it easy, and I tell you what, it is fun sitting here watching these young people do it.
There's a breakaway. Look out. Here we go. Is it going to score? Oh, nice stop. Rocky Ferraro had his shot, then he tried to get to the ball, and Velasquez got to it. Nice play. Good sports by both men. Good job.
And you know what? A lot of people that don't realize soccer and understand soccer, that when he come by, Vince kind of patted him on the backside and told him good job. People don't. That's not taunting. In soccer, they're telling each other it's a nice job. And these guys,
that's absolutely
correct. And these guys out here pretty much play all the time together. They might be on different teams now and playing that way, but I tell you what, they're all friends.
That's right. Absolutely. Substitution into the ball game. Coming in for Admiral King is Lewis Crook, number 24. That was the opportunity the Admirals needed to get back in the ball game, and it just unfortunately it went a little long on them. Velasquez made both keepers making some nice saves in here. Basconi on the defense on Johnson. They've had to move Basconi from an attacker down to play defense on Johnson because he was able to make that churn with that left foot. He's very dangerous. So young David back there, senior.
I tell you, people don't realize coaching soccer on when you're ahead by one, the clock just goes so slow.
Oh yeah.
And when you're losing by one, it's like it's going twice as fast.
Oh, that's for sure. Ball kicked out of bounds. Jeff Whitman. Joe Green, the young man I've been referring to as Mean Joe Green, he's probably all of about, what, 5 foot tall, but he plays with a big heart. He likes Mr. Jones as his favorite history teacher is Bob Jones over at Admiral King. He's dramatic when he teaches, and he's funny. So I've heard that about Bob Jones a lot. He's retiring after 30-some years of teaching, so he's going to be missed. His influences have been his mom and his dad, and he loves to play soccer and professional team. To play for soccer on a professional team at one point is what he'd like to do, and he'd like to influence younger kids with regards to soccer. He likes soccer, he likes skateboarding, he likes baseball, and he has a 3.25 grade point average.
It looks like Scotty Morrison and Tyler Johnson switched positions for a minute, and Scotty Morrison with the shot.
Sorry, Joe, I'll keep smacking that mouthpiece.
I tell you what, you
got cauliflower ears when I get done with her here.
I'm telling you. Hey, I tell you what. Our buddy over here, Joe, doesn't get the credit he deserves either to get out here and do this. And,
you know what? We should mic him up sometime. Next time, let's mic him up.
He does. Hey, it might be his job, but I tell you what, he goes above and beyond doing his job out here, getting the support for these kids and getting the exposure.
If you knew the hours that man puts in for Lorain City schools and the sports program and the Christmas programs and you name it, and he's there, and volleyball, and I think you're doing what you're going to do. You're doing golf. Did you say you're doing golf? That'd be interesting.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get a cart and drive around that day.
It's done?
Oh, he's done.
It's in the can, huh?
So, hey, not only does he sit in the press box, he gets out and is in the field reporting and getting the kids exposure. I mean, tell you, our golf teams here in Lorain and the programs, I tell you, they need that exposure because they are very successful with the two programs at Admiral King and Southview. On the bio side, Southview's, are we doing a goalie change here?
Yeah, I think he wants to get Ramos out in the field with that athleticism and try and get a score. He's going to turn him into a field player now. That's not a bad move. He loses about a foot on height, which could be dangerous with the shots that are being taken. I don't mean that negatively, but I mean it does make a difference. Is it Brian Gaynor going into goal? I think Brian is. No, that could be.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. That's why I shut it off. Had to yell up and see if his dad, that was Brian Gaynor, went into goal.
Well, I tell you, it could be. It's a move that's either it can backfire. I mean, if he needs a goal to tie it, you got to go with what you got to go with, and it's time.
That's right. Absolutely. You can't blame him. He's down to 11 minutes. And the Admirals have been playing, defense for most of the day. Southview's been doing a great job in counterattacking. Now we got a throw in here for Admiral King, Derek Smith coming up, and we'll have a substitution. And in comes Ramos. Ramos comes in, and Lewis Crook goes out. So we'll see what happens. It won't take us too long, I don't think, here from the looks of things. In fact, he's already got the ball and it's coming up. Nice, he crosses, I'll tell you. He doesn't waste any time trying to cross the ball over. Nice done.
And for a defender on him to put that shot right off the goal,
Yeah, De Leon
that's
came
a nice
across.
shot.
Yeah, De Leon almost got it. Redirected by Nick Rivas.
That's Jeff Whitman.
Okay, they're going to call a push on Rocky, but he was shoulder to shoulder. One of the disadvantages you have there is he's a little taller, and he got a little bit, let that arm extend from his body into the player, so they called a shove. Andy Arredondo takes the kick. Basconi sending it out. Nice chest trap, sails it down to his foot and sends it out. Fierro gets the ball. Oh, nice move. Went through Andy, and now he's trying to send it long. If he can get trying to get it to Matos. Oh, that was a nice aggressive play there. He really recovered himself really well over there on Edgar De Leon.
And I tell you, this is just his second year playing soccer.
Is it really?
He had a brother that played summer league for us a couple years ago, and he didn't really want to. He really didn't want to play, and he decided to play last summer. And tell you what, he's blossomed to be thrown back there sweeper position.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's doing a nice job back there.
Sure is. Basconi settles it down, tries to send it out. Looking for, watch out. Oh,
that's a goal.
There's no, it isn't, because he pushed them out. There was a push on
Morrison.
Scotty.
Yep.
Scotty got carried away with the arm there. He said, "Get out of my way! I need a goal."
Tell you what, and that right there was a good call by the official.
That was a good call. He was right there.
Yep.
He saw the push. It was a good call. There's no arguing coming out of Southview on it.
You can basically tell if it's a good call or bad call by watching the players, because they
lose
know.
the ball. Now we got a Ramos. He sends it wide. Oh, and it goes long, and we're gonna wide right, and ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a corner kick.
I tell you what, Vince Velasquez has to be shell-shocked right now since the change of it, putting Matos out there on the field. But I tell you,
who might take it? Ramos and Fiara coming in there on the charge. That's a lot of speed.
And I tell you, he's keeping it. Vince again shows the goalie keeping his composure under the pressure.
Ooh, he hit that.
That
one
was
out.
dangerous.
Nice. Yep, that was dangerous. But he did a nice job.
That's Jared Shula coming through from the defensive position,
nice
going
job.
to the
Ran
offense.
right through it. Better send it before he's offside. There it goes. Nice move over to McCartney. McCartney turns it, comes into center. He's going to take a shot, and it's wide.
Goal. It's a goal.
It's
David
a goal.
McCartney crossing the front of the goal mouth with his right foot to the far post.
Brian couldn't get over to it. Took him right, and then shot it back left, like we were talking about earlier.
And to get the play started, I tell you what, you have to give credit for Jarek Shula to come out of that pack from a defensive position to get him the ball.
Absolutely.
But you know, this is a situation that the coach was involved in.
Who put that in?
David McCartney.
David McCartney, number 7.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's a situation the coach was called in. It's a decision he had to make, whether he's going to try to do it on the attack or doing a defense. And nobody can second guess him on that. And for him to do it, and it was working.
Check this out, Gene. Southview scored their first goal with 7 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first half, and they just scored their second goal with 7 minutes and 47 seconds left in the ball game.
That looks like a Ohio Lotto pick 3 for me.
That's for sure.
But I tell you what, there's still plenty of time in this game, and if Admiral
crazy things happen,
and the way they've been putting on the attack the last 5 minutes.
Throw in for the Admirals. Rocky throws it in, is trying to get it out to Ramos. Ramos gets the ball, but trips and ended up losing it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in. You know, you got a good athlete like that. Is either, you know, is great in goal and you put it on the field and you're trying to accomplish something. I mean, when you stop and think about it, what's the difference? If you lose the game, what's the difference if it's 1-0 or 2-0?
Correct. And I tell you what, it was working. The shots were being put on goal.
Sure.
And effective shots. But you know, the Southview goalie Velasquez he made some gorgeous saves.
Yep, that's a shot that goes wide by. Was that Taggart that took that shot?
I think so.
Number 10. No, you can't. You can't fault Nick DeMacchi on that one.
Let's see if I can try to guess a little what Coach Bogan's going to do. David McCartney coming out and Dwayne Price going in. David just being back after a week off for being sick. Let's see if he gives him a break and finish him up on defense.
Yeah, that could be. Matos to the ball for the Admirals.
I tell you, it's still not over. It's not. It's
Okay,
by far.
That's right.
Not
You
over.
got a push on Jared Schulich. So Matos will set the ball up there, and Lucas comes up to take the free kick. Admirals want to send the ball down into the box at this point in time.
I tell you what, for the price of the ticket tonight, the fans got their money's worth of 2 good ball games.
Hey, you didn't have to worry about a rebate either, man.
No,
I'll tell you.
no.
All right.
I talked him into the free Burger King
That's
from the
right.
stub. Julio Cortez with the control, trying to get it to Scotty Morrison.
He gets it. Yeah, he does. He gets it out to Scotty. Scotty's getting a nice step over. Nice. He just crossed over that ball. So nice. That sends it long down to Dwayne Price. Price is hustling, boy. He's not quitting. Morrison steals the ball. Sends it over to Johnston. He's trying to get it back into the middle. Adams got to set it down. Green with the ball. Joe kicks it back. Nice save.
That's
Keeps
a nice
it from
ball.
going out.
Nice save.
He's trying to get the ball down. He's looking to Ramos.
I tell you what, Admiral King's not quitting. They are
No, they're
attacking.
not. No, they're not. There you got Rocky Ferraro in there. One of the problems I see that the Admirals are having right now is they've got about six players pushing up, and they're losing their midfield.
Transition
yeah.
is killing them.
Yeah, they're getting too many people down, and
trying to score.
They're trying to get numbers down on the other end, and they can't get the ball down there. So I'm sure Coach DeMacchi will get them going. Here we go. Nice move there. Not only did Edgar come in, De Leon, but he set the ball out of bounds, making it a throw-in. Uses up a little more time. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the game. Ball bounces off the Admiral's foot and goes to the keeper, Velasquez.
Yeah, I tell you, we've mentioned him off and on throughout the night as Andy Arendano, but I tell you what, I call him the silent assassin out there because he does a lot of controlling out there in that midfield position and feeding the ball forward to get the offense started.
Yep.
Looks like De Leon's calling out, wants to be subbed out, whether it's his ankle or being tired.
McCartney says, I'll go. Let me go, Coach.
Let's see here. It looks like Coach Bogan's going to put Tyler Johnston back on defense, putting David McCartney back on defense. Edgar De Leon's moving up to the wing, it looks like. Maybe going to just let him rest it out right there.
I think it's a trainer. They're calling a trainer over. It looks like somebody for Admiral King is on that bench that needs some attention from the looks of it. So the referee wants her to get her bag and go on over and attend a player. Yeah, it could have been Rocky. I don't see Rocky out there right now. Fiaro.
I tell you what, right now a lot of times these young men, you've got to realize the size of field they're playing on, and a running clock with no timeouts. They expend a lot of energy, and adrenaline starts flowing, and people don't realize what it takes for the stamina for these young men.
You know, your football field's 100 yards long, and these goals are sitting at the back far part of the goal end zone, which is 10 yards. So you got a 120-yard field, which is the max in high school, I think. And what, 55, 60?
It's probably 65 yards
65 wide.
Yeah.
I used to know all that stuff when I refereed, but that's one of the first things I forgot, you know. Bloody nose? Okay, so you cannot play with blood on you. You got to get that cleaned off. So that's probably what they're doing, attending to the blood. Coach Bogan's giving heck to somebody down there because they're going to get his pop. That's okay, Bill. We'll buy you a soda.
I tell you, Bill's doing
He's
a nice
having some
job.
fun.
He is. And
Okay,
I tell you
Ramos breaks it loose. He's trying. Oh, I'll tell you, he is just a foot away from getting somewhere in there. There's another move. There. Oh, son of a gun. Green did an excellent job of trying to bring the ball down, but it got off his foot too far.
For a young man to do a 360 and get a shot off at the goal is unbelievable. Yep. And I tell you, Vince Velasquez did a nice job staying composed and following the play. Oh, nice triangle play.
Beautiful triangle. He knew the guy was there. We got a push on the Admiral. Edgar De Leon gave him what I like to call the old howdy do.
Yeah, and I tell you, with as exciting as soccer is, you look at both benches and coaches. You don't see them jumping up and down and screaming and yelling and going after the officials. They're just
stopping the clock here because they're waiting for a ball.
Yep.
So
they're just waiting and letting the kids play the game.
That's right. And you know, it's been a good, clean game. There hasn't been any cheap shots or anything that kind of stuff. It's been a good rivalry game. I think we'll see a similar thing at the end of the season when they wrap up. Didn't you tell me they play the last game on a Saturday?
They play the last game on a Saturday. Right now we're in a process of maybe trying to move that game and give the girls an opportunity to play under the lights.
Yep.
I think it's just fair. The girls always seem to get shorthanded on the under the light nights, and I think I'm going to try, if I can work it out, to let them play under the lights.
Sure. Okay, there you got Ramos. He got taken down from behind there. Oh, that's a little dangerous. You better watch out on that one.
I tell you that.
This late in the game, you don't want to get yourself in trouble, so you're in trouble for the next game. But Schulich, you know, he didn't try and do anything really, you know, on purpose. He just said, "Hey, man, I gotta keep this ball away from Ramos."
Yeah, I think if he would have went down, it might have been a little bit different of a call. But again, he's got to be careful. And here,
well, his athleticism saved him because he was able to keep his. Oh, nice shot! This we got a little high on him. And he's a good athlete, definitely a good athlete. We have 1 minute and 53 seconds. There are under 2 minutes left in the ball game. It's Southview 2, Admiral King nothing.
And here again, it was the opportunity for Admiral King to score with the clock stopped.
Yeah.
And free kicks in soccer are one of the dangerous part of the games.
That's for sure.
It does look like Coach Bogan moved Johnson back to defense, along with dropped Andy Arredondo back a little bit more, along with David McCartney to seem like a little bit more foot-skilled type players to control the backside.
For sure.
Good coaching move. Good coach. And that goes to show you that...
You taught him everything that he knows. That's,
Coach Bogan reads a lot, is involved with youth soccer, and
he's down in Wellington, is he?
From down in Wellington, and all of his kids play. But you know what? Coach Bogan also lets the kids do a lot of coaching.
Yeah, that's good. Cleared out. We're under 1 minute to go in the ball game. McCartney settles it down, and then he loses it to Green. We got a pair of sevens going at it there, and then we got Lewis.
Hey, the clock says sevens. They say sevens. Sevens could be the number.
That's right. Leo pushes it off to McCartney. He's going to let him play on. He's going to let him play on because the Admirals had the ball. That's exactly. Went out of bounds. Referee saw the fall and was going to call it, but the Admirals had the advantage on the ball, so he let him play it.
And I tell you what.
Good move by Joe Blackham.
It takes an experienced official to decide whether to let him play or call it.
That's right. A lot of guys, they hit that whistle right away. Once that whistle blows, there's no go ahead and play on. Basconi hits it. This is going to be a Southview win, and ball game's over. So here we are, Jared Daniel Field, Southview Saints 2, the Admiral King nothing, and we'll be back with a wrap-up in just a minute.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. And I won't back down.
Here we are. This is Neil Summers and Gene Burgess with the wrap-up of the Admiral King Admirals and the Southview Saints. It was a thrilling game. Southview winning it 1-0 or 2-0. Excuse me.
Yes.
On a score with 7:57 left in the first half by Taylor Johnson. And the second score coming in the second half by David McCartney at 7:47. So good game by two of our Lorraine schools. And Gene, what do you think? We're going to come back in October and do this again?
I would love to come back in October and do this again. I tell you, I was a little bit nervous at first today, but I tell you what, Neil makes it easy, and it's my pleasure to get out here and give all the kids the accolades that they so deserve and on a well-played game. And it's exciting for the city of Lorraine.
So, well, we ended up, Southview ended up winning the boys' game, like we said, 2-0. The girls had a 2-2 tie. That was an exciting game. It's 2-0 Southview, and the Lady Admirals came back to tie it. So that about wraps it up from George Daniel Field. Another night of activity. So we'll see you someplace at one of these events. Get out and see the kids. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks again.
This has been a production of Lorraine City Schools, TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorraine City Schools Television at 282-8400.